I am Joe.
And I'm Kokoy.
Together we are.
TITOS with two of a kind ukuleles.
Okay, so we're doing a twinning episode.
Yes, twinning episode where we put face to face two of the similar kinds of ukulele from our favorite, one of our favorite bands, KALA.
Okay, so what I have here, I bought this I think last year. This is a KALA Archtop tenor ukulele in Brooklyn green color.
Yes, and what I have is the older Tito version. It's almost the same thing, but this time it's in a tail version with its own trapeze tail and a floating bridge. Yes, you see that my bridge is kind of different from yours. Can you show them your bridge? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we have two different types of bridge, but the same archtop. And you know how I love archtops.
Yeah, mine doesn't have a pick guard.
And this one has a very nice classic looking pick guard that looks like some of those old jazz box guitars from the 30s.
Mm-hmm. Our binding is similar.
Yes, actually, this is also a similar. They're more or less like similar ukuleles, but a different time period.
Except mine, I can plug it into an amp.
But mine is classic. You can plug it nowhere.
I think one nice thing about your ukulele is that, so it has a floating bridge, so he can adjust the intonation.
Yes. So for our episode today, we are actually showcasing two of a similar kind of ukuleles from two different catalogs. This is the older model, while this is the newer model. Because newer model, they did put the piezo active pickup on there, whereas mine is the traditional jazz looking. But they're similar archtop, so in a way they should sound alike, or do they?
Well, okay. I've changed my strings. I'm using an all nylon low G string set from Diodario.
While I have kept the original high G that came with it. So this is practically what you get from the factory. Since you did change your strings, originally we would have the same strings.
Yes. I did research on this, and I actually found an old video of NAM.
At the North American Music
Music Merchant Show.
Yeah.
From 11 years ago. All other videos after were it no longer had a tailpiece or a pick guard.
Yes, actually, this I think it would be one of their earlier, if not one of the first few of the F-hole models for at least for this decade. So that they actually patterned it after the old jazz box guitars, right? If you notice that when they invented jazz music or even the electric guitars, what you would usually have would be these jazz kinds of archtop instruments. That's coming from the traditional classic ones, which the design you can find in most of the ukuleles these days.
Yeah.
This is based on the jazz type. So does it play like jazz?
Why don't we do a sound sample?
Yes, what did you guys think? I mean, this is an archtop. It should be played like the jazz way, but I'm not a jazz player, so I don't know if I sounded well enough. But we did run this through acoustically. There's no pickup in here, and seriously, there's really a very difficult way of putting a pickup in this
You
thing.
know, the, say from the factory, they really tie the strings so beautifully on the tailpiece.
That's why I have not moved it out, because with a tailpiece like that, the string definitely can be seen.
Yeah. Now, guys, if ever you find one like this, we found this, it was hanging on the wall for a very long time before we came along and bought it, and you find yourself wanting to change the strings, once again, we will remind you, it's a floating bridge. So if you take out all of the strings, the bridge literally falls off the soundboard.
Actually, that's a good observation, Joe. A floating bridge is where the bridge is technically floating, only held on by the spring, the strings tension to the body. Now, this is similar to, or if not based on, the strings such as the violin, the cello, and stuff like that, who do have floating bridges, or even mandolins. And that is why they created the F-hole. Because the F-hole is technically your guide to where you're putting your strings.
So where should they align it?
Yeah, so if you are going to change the strings on this one, or you manage to misplace your bridge, then when you put it back, you just have to find there's a point in the F-hole. Normally it's the point that is towards inwards. Yeah. Now on this floating bridge, okay, that is going to be your base mark. Because a ukulele has different scales. On this tenor, you just have to place it there. Normally, right under that F-hole marking, not over it, but under. The good thing about something like this,
you're telling me it should be
yes,
under.
it should be under, like the one, like on your permanent. It's similar to how this would be, except mine is floating. So that is the gauge. That also marks that the guys at KALA did manage to think traditionally in installing the bridge to the F-hole. Because if not, if you're a designer, you might think that the F-hole can go anywhere in the body. No, normally an F-hole marks where the bridge should be.
You know, I think I noticed something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the bowl here is bigger compared to yours.
Yeah. It could be a design, because that's a more modern instrument. They have made it a little, but also sometimes the instrument, like an archtop, especially if you have a floating bridge, that they have to compensate for it in some sense, in a violin sense, but not in the guitar sense. The life of the violin is there's a little sound post between the back and the side that's supposed to link the archtop and the bowl back, right? Now that on a violin, it actually works, because when you do that, you kind of solidify the sound. It doesn't make it flop in resonance. So when you solidify the sound on a high pitching sound like a violin, it accentuates that. For a ukulele, if there's a sound post in here, it's gonna decrease the volume of the sound and make the sound a little bit treble and solid. So it kind of acts like a solid body, which mutes the sound, which is why maybe in certain designs like this one, you already have a traditional bridge over here. You might need a little of the bowl back, or by design. But technically, that is one of the things that you have to watch out for when you are getting a archtop and bowl back.
Yeah.
Because
You know what I noticed among my tenors, this is actually the softest sounding one, and I've read reviews, I've seen reviews in the past, and they all said it's a little muted, but everyone says, and I agree, it really shines once you plug it into an amp.
oh, but if I don't have the plug, how does that make my sound? Well, the nice thing about the KALA, whether it's that or this, is that they made the sound pretty well. It resonates pretty well. Well, this one, in my opinion, I think the archtop was practically made for more plucking, because it provides you with a different. Well, now I think I want to trade. No, I'm not going to trade. This is an older, rarer model.
Yeah,
it will actually come out more expensive for some collectors, but because it's rare now.
It's
Yes.
right now. It's hard to find brand new. Like we only found two in two different stores, and I tried them both. I told Coco, this store has the better sounding copy.
Well, think of it this way: we live in the Philippines, and sometimes pricier ukuleles like this one don't go on sale that much. Or people don't usually tend to buy these things. So if you were outside the Philippines or you want to hunt down models that might not be available in your country anymore, you might want to take a vacation to the Philippines just to check out what we still have.
Yeah, they're literally hanging on the walls of the shops.
Yes, sometimes you can get them for a good bargain, right?
Yeah.
You see them on eBay for exorbitant prices. So that's one thing. This is no longer in the catalog of KALA. That one comes in many colors, I believe.
Actually, they also have a variation where there's like a tuxedo design.
Yeah, there's a tuxedo design of this one. That was also on my checklist, but this one looks so. Because I have a jazz guitar that looks almost like this. I can hook up a picture right here. All right.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that KALA has a blem sale from time to time. So I'll be honest. This is a blem that I bought from KALA. It's like almost about a 50% discount. And the only blem we could find was that if you look through the F-hole here, you could see a loose wire, which Kokoy fixed into place. That was it. But it was a great discount. Didn't have a bag when I bought it, but it was the fall warehouse sale. So I realized that if I got the bag, I would meet the minimum, and the discount would actually give me the bag for free.
That's actually a good point because these are archtop instruments. That means that the dimensions might not be the same. And if they have a bowl back, they will need a bowl back case. So normally you'd like to have a very thick padded bag for instruments like this. Or if you manage to find a case that is suited for an archtop that gives you enough of the space, then you can opt for that. But otherwise, if you get a hard case that's just for flat instruments, you might have a hard time putting it in.
I'd like to shout out to KALA. I contacted them through their website, sent messages, they replied back promptly, they answered all of my questions regarding what battery does this use and what case is the best fit. It was a very pleasant purchase experience. Shipping was free for as long as you get it shipped to somewhere within the continental USA.
Did you say battery?
Yeah.
Mine doesn't need battery. I can play for life. No, actually, that's one thing I did notice about this kind of because the instrument is so thin. I mean, it's so with the F holes. There's really no space to put an in-hole piezo preamp. So that's why the preamp is over here.
Yeah.
So once this thing breaks, that's something you have to be cautious about. The only KALA can be replacing this kind of pickup preamp because that's the size that they've made the hold for. Yeah. So one thing you have to watch out for.
My complaint really is, okay, so the battery, it uses two pieces of CR2032 and it's easy to put in, but it's so difficult to pull it out of this battery holder. Doesn't come out easily.
Yeah, which can be a hassle when you're trying to change during a set, which is why this one in a nice pair of microphone will last you forever. But it's really a matter of your choice, which, I mean, I did prefer the nice modern, they had that chevron kind of a color preference. Right?
The Kalamazoo Gold really looks nice in my opinion.
Yes. But again, like I said, this matches my already acoustic steel string jazz box. So this is one of the reasons why I bought this. Besides, he was the one who told me this was still on sale.
Okay. First, before I forget, a shout out to my cousin Dave. Because I had this shipped to his house. Sorry, Koy.
No problem.
I had this shipped to him, and I picked it up when I visited him for Christmas last year. So thank you, Dave, for holding on to this.
No, this is why our channel is called TITOS with Ukuleles, because it's a family show. You know, no matter what our jokes are, it's a family show. All of our collections are part of a bigger family in a sense. You're really trying to cover my face. We gotta do this battle one more time. But like I said, this is one nice instrument, and that as well. So it's really a matter of preference. Since this is not in stock anymore, when you do find it, you do pick it up, but don't let that stop you from getting archtop like this one if you really want an archtop.
Okay, I'd like to clarify that you can get this version in that color. It's available. But if you want the tailpiece, the floating bridge, and the pick guard, okay, you're gonna have to buy secondhand or look for old stock that's still hanging out somewhere.
You know, one thing that I would have liked on this instrument is that I wish they had given the option for the pick guard, because there are some jazz boxes that don't have the pick guard, so that if you match that kind of style, it's nice to also have a more basic one that doesn't have a pick guard. However, I think KALA, when they came out with this in the factory, they probably have installed the pick guard. I wouldn't know, because this has been hanging on the wall for such a long time.
Yeah, but you know, I think with the tailpiece, the floating bridge, it just complements the look.
Yeah, but my nails don't get to that big guard. That's one thing on an instrument like this, and playing like
the
blocking style
said
or using the thumb.
The look, not the function, the
Fine.
look.
Yeah, that is also why the Les Paul, which is based on such instruments like this, do have that kind of pick guard, because those are based on a more classic design.
Okay, guys, once again, please like our videos, please subscribe, keeps us going.